It's tough to be the comeback kids every single game, man. The Wizards take a L to the Charlotte Hornets. It's tough. We'll get more into it on this episode of Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is going on, guys? Back with another Locked On Wizards episode with me and your boy Ed. This episode is brought to you by Truebill. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/LockedOnNBA. Thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. I mean, like I said in the opening, guys, it's tough to be the comeback kids every single game. The Wizards go down double digits again. They bring it back. They almost did it, but they couldn't finish the job this time, and it's tough. It's tough. So, Ed, I want to get started with what's your main takeaway from this game?
It was a tough one. I wish we could put up the dub, but it's a tough. You can't win everyone, but this was another winnable game. It's frustrating, It was it really looked similar to the first time we played the Hornets. At times we just could not hit a three at all, and then they started hitting threes. Terry Rozier was just a man possessed. He couldn't miss tonight. He hit 7 threes. He hit 8 threes, 8 for 11 from the 3-point line. That can't happen. And he had a couple wide open threes. He had a couple transition threes. He couldn't miss. He really couldn't miss. LaMelo Ball got penetration every time he went pick and roll with Miles Plumlee, pick and roll with Nick Richards. He was really pushing the ball, pushing the pace. I thought he did carry a couple times, but of course the refs weren't calling that. He hit a couple threes. He dunked on Daniel kind of dunked on Daniel Gafford. I mean, there was just a time in the game where he really controlled the game, and LaMelo Ball definitely has improved from last year, and he's gonna be a great player for years to come. So I thought he controlled the pace and controlled the game at times. Gordon Hayward gave them good minutes, but we just couldn't hit shots, turn the ball over too much. We had 20 turnovers against the Heat. We had 18 turnovers tonight. We just keep shooting ourselves in the foot with unforced errors. Spencer Dinwiddie against the Hornets, I don't know what it is about the Hornets, but he just can't buy a bucket against the Hornets, and he can't just keep, trying to wait till the fourth quarter to wake up. We know you're clutch. We know Spencer Dinwiddie is super, super clutch, but you can't just wait until the fourth quarter. We need you to flip that switch on and get it going from the beginning of the game. But, of course, we'll talk about that last play where Miles Bridges misses the dunk. We got to stop. We were down by 4. Bradley Beal throws a football pass to Montrezl Harrell. Harrell catches the ball. He makes a layup. So we get down. We get the stop. Harrell gets the rebound. LaMelo Ball plucks the ball out. Harrell was strong as we know he's super strong. You got to be ready and bring the ball down. We know 9 times out of 10, Montrezl Harrell's going to bring the ball down, but LaMelo Ball made a heads-up play and plucked it out. Now about that shot clock, people are saying that it should have went to 14 instead of a full 24. I know that's a quick call that the ref has to make, but of course that's what the refs have to make now. I looked at it, and it is a tough call to make, but like I said, you do have to make that call and set it back to 14. It's very close, but of course, being a Wizards fan, you're like, man, you can't miss that call. You just can't. So that did hurt us, and Terry Rozier just it might not even matter because Terry Rozier had a wide open three, and he knocked it down, and that put them up by, I want to say 5. Yeah, 5. We got a couple texts because we were frustrated with the refs, but we were still able to rally back. We had a couple turnovers towards the end. Bradley Beal had a couple turnovers, but he did hit a big 3. But once again, turnovers and defense, not being able to stop Rozier. LaMelo Ball had 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. Rozier had 32 points and 4 assists. So those two guards they did whatever they felt like doing. And Gordon Hayward had a solid game too. But turnovers and just shooting from the 3-point line, we were 9 for 36 from the 3-point line, 25%. We were 8 for 42 in that first game. So we just can't buy a bucket against these guys. And I thought we did do better. They did try to play zone. I thought we did better. But being the comeback kids, that worked against the Miami Heat, but it's not going to work every night. We can't do that. And I thought we actually did. I liked our first half, that first quarter. It was ball movement. We're moving the ball around. But we just got stagnant. And then right before the end of the first half, LaMelo Ball hit like almost a half court three near the logo. And then right before that, he hit a three. I want to say he hit back-to-back threes to end the first half, and they went up 59-50. And then at one point, they got up by 16. So some of the parts of the game were pretty ugly, but I thought we did chip away. But shout out to Montrezl Harrell. He had 23 and 24 and 18 off the bench in 27 minutes. So he had a great game, but we just can't win games trying to come back at the end. It's just not always going to work out like that.
Yeah, and I mean, if I was to take something away from my main takeaway, I would definitely point to it's a couple of things, man. I could go with the turnovers, I could go with the 3-point shooting, I can go with the 3-point defense, but I'm gonna go with I feel like the turnovers, man. The turnovers hurt. They had a couple late turnovers in the fourth quarter. Bradley Beal had a couple turnovers. He had one where he stepped on the line. He had one where he threw the ball away. I mean, it's tough to win games when you're consistently having 18, 17, 16 turnover games, man. It's you got to protect the ball. The Wizards have to do a better job of protecting the ball. You cannot have almost 20 turnovers every time you step on the court and expect to be where you are, where they are currently in the standings. Yeah, it can't happen. And I think that's the most frustrating thing for me personally. It's just when it's just bad turnovers. You see him all the time during the game where somebody may throw the ball away off a rebound. Like Montrezl got a rebound and he tried to dump it off to Denny. No, it was Denny blocked it. Montrezl got the rebound. Denny's taking off down the court, and Montrezl is expecting him to come, get the ball, but he's running down court and it's a turnover. It's like silly turnovers like that. Those are, a little irritating. So they got to clean that up. They definitely got to clean that up, man. Turnovers is my main takeaway for sure out of this game, but I mean, you hit on it. The 3-point shooting, they can't. I don't know if it's the Hornets or what. Maybe the Hornets. Some teams just got your number. Some teams definitely got your number. But before I do get into just my whole full spill of the game, it does have a message over at Shopify from our friends.
Yep, and this episode is brought to you by Shopify. In case you don't know, Shopify is a complete commerce platform that lets you start, grow, and manage a business. The subscription-based software allows anyone to set up an online store and sell their products. Shopify store owners can also sell in physical locations using Shopify POS, our point-of-sale app, and accompanying hardware. Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources once reserved for big business, so upstarts, startups, and established businesses alike can sell everywhere, synchronize online and in-person sales, and effortlessly stay informed. Scaling your business is a journey of endless possibility, and Shopify helps you make your entrepreneurial dreams come true. I love how Shopify has the tools and resources that make it easy for any business to succeed from down the street to around the globe. Shopify powers over 1.7 million businesses from first sale to full scale, reaching customers online and across social networks with an ever-growing suite of channel integrations and apps, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and more. It allows you to gain insights as you grow with detailed reporting of conversion rates, profit margins, and beyond. Go to shopify.com/lockedonnba, all lowercase, for a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/lockedonnba right now. Shopify.com/lockedonnba. Just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. Make sure you guys subscribe to Locked On Wizards. We are now at 1,100 subscribers.
Yeah, and to hit on my points on just all of the game in general, Terry Rozier, I mean, he was a beast today. 32 points, 11 for 19 from the field, 8 for 11 from 3. I think he put a new move on. I don't know if it was Howell Neto or was it Aaron Holiday, but I know he had a nice move and shot the midi and made that. LaMelo Ball was doing his thing. He got hot from 3 into that second half. Then he pulled one where he was far back, almost at the logo. I mean, he had 28
Mm-hmm.
points, 13 rebounds. It was a quiet game for Miles Bridges, and Mason Plumlee was just there. Really, he fouled out of the game. Gordon Hayward had a quiet 16, but LaMelo and Terry Rozier, those were the two guys right there who really did the Wizards in. I mean, you look at Martin off the bench, Oubre off the bench, Richards off the bench. They only had 7 and 3 points each, respectfully. But LaMelo and Rozier, those guys killed the Wizards today. They killed them. And LaMelo Ball, just to talk about him for like a little bit, I mean, that guy's special. The way he plays with pace, the way he facilitates and everything. I mean, the kid's really good. But the Wizards have to do a better job at defending the three, man. You can't give these guys 48% from the three. You just can't do it. And 44% from the field. I mean, 15 for 31 is tough, especially when you're shooting 9 for 36 from the three. I mean, you could easily say the 3-point game was the biggest difference in this game. You know, if the Hornets shoot 33% from three, the Wizards probably win this game. Anytime a team gets close to 110 points, the Wizards typically lose that game. Not typically. I mean, if you go back in the schedule, the Heat scored 112. They lost. The Raptors scored 109 and they lost. The Hawks scored 118 and the Wizards lost. So anytime a team gets to that 110 mark, it's not looking good for the Wizards. So I just really got to say the 3-point defense, man, has to be better. The turnovers have to be better. It's just tough because they dominated on the boards. They dominated on the boards.
Yeah, Trezz was a monster.
55 to 36. 20 offensive rebounds to the Hawks. I mean, to the Hornets 6. That's crazy. And I mean, it didn't. In the end, it didn't matter. It's crazy to have that big of advantage on the boards and still take an L. But I mean, to get more into your full thoughts about the game, what more do you have to say?
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, second chance points, we dominated. We had 24. They only had 3. So, I mean, we dominated in the paint. And like I said, it felt like deja vu a little bit. Of course, this game was a lot better than the last game. It was more competitive. But it felt, it felt like deja vu. I felt like, Gafford was able to, score in the paint whenever he got, his chances and dunk on guys. He had a couple dunks. Trezz was just unstoppable. All those bricks we put up from the 3-point line, it was like he was there to get the rebound and put it right back up. It was either a dunk or he was getting to the free throw line. I mean, he was a man possessed. He really was. For him to have 24 points and 18, like, that's incredible. 10 for 13 from the field. I mean, he had a grown man game. That's a game where you will your team to win. And he went 4 for 5 from the free throw line. He had 7 offensive rebounds. Like, that's incredible. Like, but the 3-point shooting continues to be a problem for the Wizards team. We're ranked 25th in the NBA from the 3-point line, 33%. We're ranked 24th in the league in 3 points attempted. So we don't shoot many, we don't make many. Like I said earlier, Davies Bertans, I'm not going to say Davies is going to change a whole bunch because we know Davies can get very cold. He's very hot or cold, but he will help being a threat. I can't wait for Thomas Bryant to return as well because he's a big that can shoot. And I think that will help with spacing and offensively, and that will give this team a different dynamic. Trez is a great pick and roll guy. Gaff is a great pick and roll guy, but we could definitely use a stretch 5, a guy that can roll because Thomas Bryant can roll to the basket and he can shoot threes. So that will definitely give a different dynamic to the team. You talked about pace the other day. I bring this up again. We were running up and down in the beginning of the game, and it was working out. Like, we were trying to play at their level, and then it stopped working. Our level, our game is just slow and methodical. We're ranked 23rd in pace. The Charlotte Hornets are ranked 2nd in pace, and they want to run. LaMelo Ball wants to get the ball and just zoom and just go. And it worked for them, and it didn't work out for us. So I thought we started to slow it down a little bit, and we started playing our ball. We started to get to the basket. I thought we did settle a little too much for threes. And then Brad Bill started getting to the basket. Montrezl Harrell started getting to the basket. And then we just started to chip away the lead. We did start hitting threes. Spencer hit a 3. I want to say KCP hit a 3. But individual performances, KCP had a decent game, 17 points. But he was a minus 17. Dinwiddie's just got to step up, man. I don't know what it is with him and playing with Bradley Beal. he averages 28 points with Bradley Beal, and then once he plays with Bradley Beal, he just takes a back seat. We just kind of need him to be more aggressive. Denny, I thought he had good moments with the clamps. He did the Exxon on Miles Bridges. He did the Exxon on Gordon Hayward. And then it just didn't continue in the second half. But yeah, Neto's got to be better, man. Something's going on with Howell Neto. He's missing free throws. He's turning the ball over. He's missing shots. He's not playing like he did at the beginning of the year. And I know it's still early, but some of those games he was he was playing well. He was playing better than Dinwiddie at times in some of those first couple of games. So Kispert was off tonight. Just to talk about individual performances, I thought Aaron Holiday gave us somewhat of a boost, but he missed like back-to-back threes in the fourth quarter too. So 3-point shooting, I can't wait for some guys to come back to help out this 3-point shooting. So we got to improve on that. And 3-point defense, once again, inexcusable to let Terry Rozier get all these open looks like that. That was inexcusable. So going back to the drawing board, like you said earlier, Wes Unseld said in the press conference that he got outcoached. I personally didn't think he got outcoached. I felt like he got outcoached in the first Hornets game where the zone, we just were chickens with our head cuts off against the zone. I thought we did a lot better against their zone. I will compliment Wes on that. So I didn't personally looking at the game, I didn't think he got outcoached, but I know some people could disagree with me. I didn't think he got outcoached this game. I just thought we didn't hit a lot of shots, and defending the 3-point line was poor on our part.
Individually, I do want to talk about Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, the Wizards need more. They need more than 8 points. And yes, it's nice for him to hit 2 big threes in the fourth and hit those clutch shots, but you can't just do it for 1 quarter and just show up for 1 quarter. It may help not have to be this situation if you playing like this in the first and the second and the third quarter. And we see it when Brad, like you said, when Brad's not playing, but it's a little different when Brad is playing. And like I said, it's early, and I feel like it's a lot of working out, the chemistry and trying to work on being aggressive while also trying to feed other guys, etc. But I mean, the Wizards needed more. This is the second straight game against Charlotte that he struggled. I don't know if it's just that team that is doing something against him that's really working, but I'm sure Spencer expects more out of himself. And we all know that the Wizards need more than 2 for 11 and 2 for 7 from the 3. We need a better performance out of. He's supposed to be that second option on the team. And our second option can't be having 8 points and only 2 points before he hit those 2 threes in the fourth quarter. For a little bit in that fourth quarter, he only had 2 points. And in that first Charlotte game, we know he had 0. So, I mean, there's got to be more. There's got to be an improvement there with Spencer. But before we get into our final thoughts and players of the games, X factors, we do have a message from our friends over at Truebill. Is your ex still using your Netflix? That's one woman found out after she downloaded Truebill, which finds and cancels subscriptions with just a tap. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 per year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions, so you don't have to. Truebill has over 2 million users and helps save them over 100 million. Like Matthew B., who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my DirecTV bill, saved $120 for the year on my Cyrus XM bill, and saved $840 a year on car insurance. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/lockedonnba. Go right now, truebill.com/lockedonnba. It could save you thousands a year. truebill.com/lockedonnba. We also have our friends over at Rock Auto. With the ever-increasing numbers of makes and models, it's now impossible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts you need. Why endure often pointless or seemingly intimidating questioning and wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts on their computer, choosing the only brand their warehouse happens to carry? You have computers with access to rockauto.com at home and in your pocket. Save time and money when using Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30, 50, even 100% more for the same parts from a chain store or car dealership? From Rock Auto. Rock Auto is a family business serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. Rock Auto prices are reliably low for every customer. They have everything you need, from car brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, and even new carpet. Go explore their easy-to-use website today and find the solution to your auto part needs. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. Write Locked On in their How Did You Hear About Us box so they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com. So, Ed, just to get into some final thoughts and player of the game and X factor of the game, who are you going with?
Yeah, so we play. I'm just thinking about Spencer Dinwiddie again, just to piggyback off of what we've been saying. We play the Pelicans next, and Spencer Dinwiddie had 27 points, and he had 9 assists, 8 for 20 from the field, 4 for 8. He shot the ball 20 times, and that's super aggressive from what we've seen when he plays with, compared to what he does when he plays with Bradley Beal. So if we could get that Spencer Dinwiddie, that would be beautiful for the game against the Pelicans. But Bradley Beal would be playing, so we'll see what happens. But player of the game was this is between LaMelo and Terry. I mean, I guess they might be like co-player of the game, to be honest. I guess I'll go with LaMelo, and then X Factor was Terry. But Trezz had a hell of a game. I mean, he had a hell of a game. 24 and 18. That's a grown man game. That is a Shaq. Those are Shaq numbers. 24 and 18. That's a game where we should win when somebody has a stat line like that.
Yeah, I mean, easily player of the game. I will go with Terry Rozier. X Factor, I will go with LaMelo Ball. Those two dudes tore it up. I mean, they tore it up against the Wizards. I'm just hoping for my final thoughts. I'm just hoping that it's not one of those things where one of these teams just have your number. Like for a multitude of years, it just felt like the Grizzlies had the Wizards' number, for example. But the Wizards finally exercised those demons. And now it seems like it's the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, they've struggled against them in the past, and they're continuing to struggle against them. So hopefully against the Hornets specifically, they can get it together. Like you said, next they do have the New Orleans Pelicans. So hopefully they can right the ship then. But it, like we said before, can be the comeback kids every time, man.
Yeah, definitely. And this, excuse me, I call this stretch of games with the Heat and the Hornets where we kept playing them back to back to back, or 1-1 or whatever, home and homes. The next couple of games are winnable. I'm not going to just jump out there and say, oh, we should go 5-0 or whatever. Play the Pelicans, who are 3-16. We play the Thunder, who are 6-11. Play the Mavericks, who are 9-7, who are a good team. I don't know if Luka's going to play or not. We'll see. And then we play the Spurs, who are 4-11. And then we play the Timberwolves, who are 8-9. So the next really, and then the Cavaliers are 9-9. The Raptors are 8-10. The Pacers are 8-11. The Pistons are 4-12. So really the next 10 games are teams that are either at 500 or below 500. So we got to take care of these next 10 games. We got to at least win 7 out of the next 10 games, in my opinion, or it's a failure, in my opinion. But like I said, game by game, one by one. And then everybody, we're going to do a mailbag episode tomorrow. So drop your questions down below in the comment section, and we'll try to get to all of them tomorrow. But that's what I got on this loss tonight.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they right the ship soon, man. They got, like you said, a nice schedule coming up. They should be able to get some of these teams, man. Don't underestimate anybody. Take care of business. But guys, I want to thank you once again for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. Now for your second listen, Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q, with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. Well, can't give you a dub today, guys, but hopefully next time we will. Thank you guys for listening. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like the videos, comment, all of that good stuff, man. We really look forward to your comments and your support. Thank you, guys.
Yep. All right. You guys have a good one. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review on iTunes. It means a lot. And you guys can leave a mailbag question on the iTunes reviews too. So, all right, you guys, hell to the Wizards. We're going to bounce back. Hell to the Wizards, y'all.